Boom, bop, beam, bop, boom, bop, bam. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Does it work? Hello, everybody. It is your friend, Mr. Larry Singleton here. And today, I am going to do another ranking video because the streets have said that it's not enough. We really enjoyed how you ranked things before. But it's not going to be a long video. It's just going to be me telling you about my personal preference for a special franchise in my heart. And I'm talking about the Equalizer with Denzel Washington. Alright? The reason why I wanted to do this franchise is because, to me, this is one of the most... Not one of the most. That makes it sound like it's so fascinating. But it's a very curious case of Benjamin Buttons here, because it's one of the few times a franchise has jumped around in terms of quality. Alright? And what I mean by this, you're about to see. So, coming in hot at number 1. I don't know if that is relevant to what I was trying to say, because this is not number 1. This is what I mean by the interesting thing here. So, Equalizer 1, and I'm going to rank them in order of release here, okay? The Equalizer, the first one, I believe it was 2014. Let me look that up. Actually, no, I remember it was 2014 because I had just... You know, this is I gotta interrupt here. The best movie reviewers are the ones that interject their own personal lives into the movie review, and they're like, it was a very special occasion for me. I had gotten divorced. My wife had taken the children, and then I went to go see Moana. And it really spoke to me. And then I went to go see... You know what I mean? So, yes, The Equalizer 1, I remember it. It was a very special time in my life. I had graduated from the University of Toronto. Big mistake. Do not go there. And that fall was the first fall that I had not been to school. Like, it was the first time in my life that I wasn't going to school since I was like 4 or 5. So I was like, what do I do? I know. I'll go see The Equalizer 1. So I'm going to rank it pretty good. Now, here's the interesting thing. At the time, if you had asked me, because it was the only one in the series, I would have ranked The Equalizer there. But we'll see what happens later. So it was pretty good. It was enjoyable. For what it was, they did a great job, okay? It did a good job setting up the series. This guy plays with his watch. He times shit. And he's a violent guy, but he's calculating. Cold and calculating. Now, we're going to see the franchise dips a little bit, okay? Equalizer 2, I would put that either here or here. Now, the first reason, I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to say B-, but I haven't seen it since 2018, since it was released. And the reason for that is the expectations from 2014, they were very high. I'm not going to lie to you. And then Equalizer 2, it dipped. I'm not going to lie to you, it dipped. He's got a relationship with a young kid, and he's doing cool stuff. But the reason why you can't watch this movie again today is because Pedro Pascal is a very annoying man. Like, his face, I think I speak for a lot of people here, and I cannot revisit Equalizer 2 because Pedro Pascal is in it. And I don't think anyone wants to see that guy's face for another, 10 years. He needs to take a break and then come back and do something. Go back to being the supporting character, okay? Stop trying to be a leading man. Stop trying to be in every single movie. It has reached it's reached its peak. You know, the other day I went to go see a movie. Pedro Pascal was in 2 different trailers. And I'm seeing this guy's face in the span of like 10 minutes. First of all, I'm already upset because the movie starts, it said 7, and now the movie starts at 7:20. And now you're going to make me look at Pedro Pascal 2 times in 2 different movies. One, he is, I don't know, a politician or something? I can't remember. And then in the other movie, he is a romantic lead. First of all, if you know anything about me, I do not believe in the democratic process, and I don't like politics, so I want to see that. 2, romance is not really my thing in movies. I go to see movies to get away from phones and romance and life. I don't want to see romance, okay? I'm an incel. I'm just kidding. So, Equalizer 1, it was pretty good. It's got some Russian stuff. It's got American actors doing bad Russian accents, which is always fun. It's always great when Russian people are the bad ones in the movie. 2 people that can really take some criticism. Russians and Italians. It's like they don't care about racism or how they're portrayed in the media at all. So, The Equalizer is another film you can add to the pile of movies that treat Russian people badly, and it's an enjoyable time. Now, I should also add some more autobiographical information. I spent many years working with Russians alongside them. So I've got a preconceived notion. I enjoy seeing bad depictions about Russians on screen. I know that's not nice to say, but it's fun for me to see it because I worked with them for a long time, doing manual labor in my younger years, and they weren't very nice to me. So I like to put on a movie from time to time where they're the bad guys and they get beat up, and in the comfort of my own parents' home, I can watch and I can say, hey, look, that guy was the long-lost lineage. He is a distant relative of Igor that I worked with at the factory. All right. Let's get back. This is going off the rails here. Let's go back to The Equalizer. You see, this is what I have to do. I have to talk about my autobiographical life to beef up the video because the franchise is kind of short. It's not like I'm talking about Indiana Jones or John Wick and they have like 10 different movies. It's only 3. So it's going to be quick. Equalizer 3 is the best one in the series. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? Equalizer 3 does something very wonderful. It goes to a different location. They're in Italy. I foreshadowed there a little bit. I mentioned Russians and Italians. Now, they go to Italy, and we see this guy's life develop in Italy, and he's having a good time. But right from the jump, it felt like the flavor that is interjected by the Italy stuff, it feels like we're trying to make this like a Sergio Leone spaghetti vibe here, okay? Now, I'm not saying the movie is that good and it'll blow you away. Like, it's not Once Upon a Time in the West. We're still talking about the Equalizer franchise here. So there's limits to how good it's going to feel. I'll give you that. But I will say that for the Equalizer franchise, it doesn't get any better than Equalizer 3. You got Italians, you got like beautiful scenery, you got like drone shots. You know, a lot of action movies have a lot of like drone shots, and they'll have a cinematographer that is unable to sit still, even if there's two characters in a room just speaking. Equalizer 3 is the kind of movie where the thing is always going to be zooming out, flying above their heads. It's just going to be... You're not going to be bored in the Equalizer 3. And here's the thing. Why I want to talk about the Equalizer 3. Actually, no, this is a criticism about Equalizer 3, but Hollywood movies with foreign vibes in general. Something I do not appreciate and I do not like is that... Actually, this will be a backhanded compliment, because I think Equalizer 3 does it pretty well, but I don't like in a Hollywood movie that takes place in another place when the subtitles are not hard-coded into the movie. Like, I don't like when they're not embedded at the bottom as like a natural part of the film. I don't like... if you download a movie, for all you pirates on the sea out there, if you download a movie, you usually got to download the subtitles like separately, and then you got to use VLC media player and put the subs that way. But some movies, something that I think is great is when it's like already part of the movie. Now, Equalizer 3 does not do that where it's part of the movie. But there are a couple scenes where if he's just like passing by someone like quickly, the subtitles will be at the bottom in white text, as if to say, like the Hollywood editor, the person working on the movie did this. This wasn't outsourced to a different thing, I just wish that all of the movie was like that, where the subtitles are embedded. Now, here's the backhanded part. Here's what I'm going to bring it around. What I liked about this movie, Equalizer 3, I did not see it in my home and native land. I didn't see it in Canada. I saw it in Amsterdam. I saw it in Europe. Now, I don't know if you are familiar with seeing movies abroad, but the subtitles were not in English. They were in Dutch. So anytime they were speaking in Italian, the subtitles were in Dutch. So I got double confusion. But the thing I liked about the Equalizer 3, just to bring back the criticism and turn it into a compliment, is that I was watching Equalizer 3 in a theater in Amsterdam without English subtitles that would allow me to comprehend the nature of what was going on, and I still somehow managed to enjoy the experience. Now, obviously, Equalizer 3 is not Shakespeare, it's not War and Peace. You don't need to know every single word about what's going on. It's not Crime and Punishment. It's not Russian literature. To tie it back to the Russians again. I forgive the Russians for bullying me in my youth, because they also offered humanity some tasty treats. War and Peace, Crime and Punishment, fathers and sons, wives and husbands. The Russians, they like ampersands and commas. Love and Death, Anna and Karenina. Blah 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 blah. I have gold watch and black turtleneck and striped pants. I have horse in a closet that I keep hidden from Liam Neeson's. When he came to my village, he did not save all of them. So these are my emergency horse that I... Okay, it's enough. So, what was I saying about that? Yeah, okay. Equalizer 3 is not Russian literature where you need to know every single word. So that was the compliment that I wanted to give Equalizer 3 and Antoine Fuqua. I really enjoyed the fact that even though the subtitles were not hard-coded and embedded into the picture, which is how they should be if Hollywood editors and filmmakers were competent people and listened to the guys living in their parents' basement who are fans of film. I'm your friend here. I'm trying to help you out. That's what they would have done. However, I will say that they did a great job anyway, because the whole time you're watching the movie, you're like, all right, I'm not going to understand the Dutch subtitles anyway. They're speaking Italian. I don't get that either. But I can understand, like, he looks at him, he's like, there's a bit of tension there. He gestures. Like, the action was so heightened. And obviously, because it's the Equalizer, you don't need to be a genius to understand what's going on. You get it. He's going to beat them up. He's looking at his watch. He's giving them a warning. 9 seconds. Oh, his watch says 9 seconds. What's the subtitle for 9 seconds? You don't need that, right? But what I loved about Equalizer 3 is that without subtitles, you watch it, it felt like a foreign movie, like legit. Like, it actually felt like a Sergio Leone movie if you don't try to involve yourself with understanding what's going on. You're just like, wow, these are all foreign people to me. Like, Denzel Washington speaking Italian here. This is just great stuff. So I think that's about it. Now, I will say, this is another reason why I wanted to make this video, is I don't think Denzel Washington is going to watch this, and I don't think anyone involved in the franchise is going to watch this. But I do believe that, I don't know, whatever we put in the world has an effect. Like it or not. 2 views, 1 view, it's still an effect. So I want to be the butterfly that pushes this out there. But I will say, for the love of Jesus H. Christ and all that is holy, don't make an Equalizer 4. Don't do what they did to John Wick. Don't make a ballerina movie where there's a movie that takes place in between the second and the third, and this side character, now we got to learn about his life, and Denzel Washington's going to appear in the movie for 2 seconds, and he's going to interact with them, so you don't feel ripped off because you paid your $10 or $20 IMAX, whatever it costs in your region. Just stop making Equalizers. After the third one, you're not going to get any better. I'm telling you this, Antoine Fuqua, as your friend. I'm your friend. I'm trying to be nice here. Don't make another Equalizer. Denzel Washington, I know you have enough money. If they come to you and they say, look, you can open a high school for inner city youth. You can fundraise your stage play production passion project. Here's 90 trillion shit on your balls $1 million. You can just take this to the bank, and you only need to. We can film your parts by Zoom, Mr. Denzel. We don't care. We just need your face in the movie because AI isn't legal yet. So we need to have your face in the movie for like 2 seconds. We'll just have a scene where you're training the rogue assassin in between. It takes place in between the second and the third. So we need a clip where you're training your friend, but it's going to be via Zoom. So don't even worry. You don't even have to travel for it. We'll give you 69 shit on your face billions dollars. You can do whatever you want with it, and you don't even have to make an effort. If they come up to you, Denzel, Mr. Washington, and they offer you this money, this is what you do. You look them in the face and you say, no, don't want the money, but this is what you're going to do for me. We are going to start a new franchise that has nothing to do with the Equalizer, and just start a whole wave of excitement over again. Because you're not going to top the third one, all right? Ballerina, garbage. Everything after John Wick 3 falls off. Like, it just rapidly... John Wick is the franchise where it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know? Like, it just... Equalizer, how you see it on the screen. That's the only franchise where it had a steady build. Like, 1, 2, it was like, it kind of maintained, but a slight dip. And then 3 was like, they actually were trying. Now, if you make Equalizer 4... You better make it like, it's got to be like, if it's not in Italy, do something crazy. Go to Greece. Go to Copenhagen. Go to Venice. Do something, I don't know. Venice might be repeating. There's another thing I wanted to say about these franchises. Oh, Den of Thieves 2? The way Den of Thieves 2 ended is a complete... is a great representation. It's a great example of what you should not do. Denzel of Thieves 3. That's a... We need that crossover. We need Denzel of Thieves. We need Denzel Washington in Den of... No. Den of Thieves 2. Perfect example of what I mean of just not beating a franchise to the ground. Halfway into Den of Thieves 2, you realize that this is not great. And then by the end, you're just like, I will not be watching the third. Because you guys are just creating just weird hijinks that don't make any sense. And that's my issue with these franchise action blockbuster type of movies. What happens is the first is successful, and then they realize, okay, we have a fan base, but now we're running out of ideas, so let's just create a bunch of hijinks. Equalizer 3 was a great example of a franchise that had caught up to its fan base and everything. Everyone was familiar with the characters. It doesn't treat you like a dumbass, and it doesn't explain, like, you know, like, you're not like, why is this guy checking his watch? And, you know, you get it. But what happens is, with all these movies, after the peak, it falls off, and you're just watching this, like, soap opera version of a movie that you formerly liked. It's like watching John Wick being raped in front of you by Harvey Weinstein. He's just penetrating John Wick on the Hollywood Hills in front of you. He's like, you like John Wick? How do you like John Wick in Italy? How do you like John Wick in France? How do you like John Wick? You know? Anyway, it might have been a little extreme, but those are my thoughts on... This went off the rails. Those are, maybe I'll title the video, Your Friend, Larry Singleton. This is a message to Mr. Antoine Fuqua. If you make Equalizer 4, you can Fuq right off, Mr. Antoine Fuqua, because I'm not going to see it. Den of Thieves. That's what they should call it. Den of Thieves 3. I'm not going to watch it. Any new John Wicks, I'm not going to watch it. Ballerina 2, I'm not going to watch it. I am going to make a vow in this video right now. Any new franchise movies that come out that are after, like, the third one, I'm not watching it anymore. Because it just turns into shit. It turns into, like, you ever eat popcorn and, like, something spicy and you see... Okay, never mind. That's what the movie in a franchise looks like after the third one, is what I was getting at. Okay, I think that's about everything I had to say. Post in the comments below. What is your favorite